name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. And we have a phrase that's going throughout the ether, it's in the that's in the air right now. It's been in the air for about the past 8 to 10 months around there, called the Great Reset. The Great Reset, what I can tell, is a way of moving back regular people's rights to what it was somewhere in the 15th century. You know, when you were serfs and you had landowners. We're not the landowners, right? The Great Reset is essentially that, which, interestingly enough, not very different from the life of a black slave in America when there was slavery. So that seems to be what the Great Reset means. I'm not really 100% on board for it, but people are kind of like sleeping through it. They're like, yeah, whatever. Australia's like, there goes freedom. It was fun while it lasted. But yeah, people generally speaking aren't that upset about it. I feel it's a bit strange. So anyway, I would like to culturally reappropriate that phrase, the Great Reset, because that's what we're seeing in Doctor Who fandom. We've had the shill media. The shill media have been telling us as a monolith for years that the current era of Doctor Who is the bestest ever. It's freaking fantastic. If you don't like it, there's something wrong with you. There's something weird about you. You're a bigot. You're evil. You're a racist. So you don't want to be an icky wicky racist, do you? And then, we had this social media being the only thought allowed to think. Weirdly enough, though, and they told us it was so popular. Every time, people who didn't like it, and we had rational arguments, which they really don't like at all. Oh no, that scares the crap out of them. Anytime they have to deal with somebody like giving them facts and reason, like, have you seen the drop in popularity? No, it's as popular as it ever was. But why are there 75% less people watching it? Netflix, yes. Netflix does it. Oh yeah, Netflix. What about YouTube? I don't know what that is. I mean, honestly, that's what it is like talking to these people, because they're weirdos. But now, weirdly enough, after saying it's doing fantastic, and if you don't agree with that, you're a weirdo. After that, now Rusty Davis is coming back, and there's a chance of Doctor Who actually being good again. Right? Cameron's going, oh my God. The current era was awful, absolutely awful. It needs to be saved. So the next person up to do that is Collider. Collider, after telling us it was stunning and brave for so long, now are saying, ooh, we have to save this before we have to save Doctor Who. Hopefully Rusty Davis can save it. Hopefully he wants to. I think he does. Go and look at the video I put out a couple of days ago. If you haven't seen it yet. Rusty Davis talking in his own words. This from an interview with Frank Skinner in 2017, before Jodie Whittaker, or maybe 2018, before Jodie Whittaker aired. One of the fascinating things in that interview, by the way, you got to see the full interview for that, but he talks about working on a story about the AIDS, I don't want to say crisis, because after seeing It's a Sin, I'm going to say tragedy, right? And I lived through it, and I didn't realize how terrible it was, honestly, as a religious person, I think we all missed the trick there. I think religious people should have been going to hospitals to visit the sick. All these people dying on their own, horrible, absolutely horrible. It's if one wants to think of themselves as religious. Anyway, that's but the interesting thing about it is he's talking about having trouble writing it, trying to put it together, which I just find absolutely fascinating. But he does talk about how excited he is for Jodie Whittaker, and said, if she fails, that this is going to be a disaster. It's not only Doctor Who will go down the pan, it's my career's going to be hurt. Billy Piper's career is going to be, Christopher Eccleston's career is going to be, David Tennant, right? And I think he feels a sense of responsibility, but mostly to himself. Okay, I think he's a genuinely altruistic person to a certain extent, but I think it hurting his career has not been fun for him. I think the more I hear, it sounds more like a hostile takeover, and a kind of a recent one at that. I think discussions didn't start until a few months ago. I think this is relatively recent, and I think he leaked, or somebody in his camp leaked the news as well, because I don't think he's happy with Chris Chibnall. I know he says, just imagine, marvelous. Yeah, it's called being professional and polite, which a lot of people just don't understand. So so I think he's not that pleased with Christian, and also in it he says, listen, when you leave Doctor Who, everything can be rewritten. Doesn't matter. They're talking about the destruction of the non-destruction of Gallifrey, I think, was it, or the non when they made Gallifrey disappear and all the Daleks shot each other, which he said, well, that's kind of silly. Some Daleks should have been able to miss it. Listen, you're nitpicking, mate, but he said you got to detach. So they're basically saying, which is Chibnall leaves, all bets are off, and I think he is. I think he's just trying to like help it. I don't know. Well, we can only really know in hindsight, and probably not then. Anyway, so Rusty Davis coming back is the bottom line. Collider wants to say what he needs to do to fix it. I haven't read this article. That would be preparation. I read this article. I'm going to read it with you. You're going to get my live reaction. I know that's scintillating for you, but you're going to get that live reaction. I may lean into camera and shout at the screen. That might happen, okay? Before we get into it, like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are fan-dabby, double-dozy, and it just feels so weird not to be plugging anything else. I'm opening up my Substack soon, but I got to get some straight work done. I just got a ton of work I got to get done. I'm so behind on everything. But hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I'll be able to focus on my Substack, which is gonna be awesome. Oh my god, I'm looking through the content I got to give there. It's basically my own 2000 AD. That's it. Which 2000 AD? It sucks ass. Oh my god, I'm stopping reviewing that. It's unreadably bad. I'm amazed that they have had a jumping on issue, and for me, it's a jumping off issue. I haven't been able to read the subsequent one yet because it just isn't very good. That's really the bottom. It's just not very good. Fine, like, share, subscribe, comment. All my subscriptions are doing quite well, by the way. Thank you very much. If you are subscribed, please make sure you're still subscribed. If you're not subscribed, you can consider hitting the subscribe button. That would be Fan-dabby double dozy, I should say. Fine. So let's look at this this article. Firstly, I like the picture they got of Russell T Davies there. You basically, as somebody who makes thumbnails, you're stuck with a few different ones. That's why I Photoshop them a lot and like put smiling faces on different bodies. It's just like I just want some more, difference. Why they got Jodie Whittaker and Christopher Eccleston there? That's interesting. Doctor Who, how showrunner Rusty Davies could save the show again. I think, isn't that exactly the same headline that Screen Rant had? Something like that. No pressure, of course. Okay. Doctor Who as a franchise is about semi-regular changings of the guard as the cast and head writer are often in flux. Okay, okay. I may have been ranking on Collider unnecessary. That's actually a very genuine statement. Not rather than saying Doctor Who is all about change. No, change and is baked into it, right? The ability to give it longevity. Doctor Who's not all about change. That's actually a true statement. I'm kind of happy about this. But one of the show's biggest shifts yet is coming in 2023. Shift in reverse, mate. Shift in reverse. It's been announced Russell T Davies, the showrunner who guided the original revival, Christopher Eccleston in 2005, will be returning to oversee the show's next phase following the departure of the current showrunner Chris Chibnall. I'm so excited, right? I'm so excited to see, like Russell T Davies essentially invented the shared universe before it was a thing. And I'm really excited to know what he's going to be doing with other broadcast platforms. Like, is he going to be doing like 1 minute mini episodes on YouTube or on TikTok? Is he? Maybe. I mean, that would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? He strikes me as somebody who's very connected to the people, to the pulse of the nation. I think we can see some. I mean, just look at all the innovation we had when it was showrun in 2005. We got those wonderful podcasts of the directors of his commentary, often with full. I love those. I absolutely love those. I so miss those. Hello, faithful viewer. Oh, they were great. And it was just like this joy this joy about making Doctor Who and this other joy that it was successful. In 2005 will be returning to Chris Chibnall. The part of current showrunner Chris Chibnall in disgrace. I think it's the words they missed out there. Okay, some brief history. Okay, before coming to Doctor Who, before coming on to bring Doctor Who to new generation fans. Davis was already a loud and proud fan of Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant's extras. Once revealed in Jewel and Crown BBC. It was, yeah. I mean, it was fantastic. I mean, have you seen BBC comedy? I keep seeing clips on YouTube that they put on their channel, and I'm like, it's so devoid of humor. It's so like noticeably devoid of any form of humor. As just one bit of evidence of the main characters in the groundbreaking series Queer Folk was a avowed Whovian. Whose fandom was celebrated throughout the series. In fact, okay, wait, what's this about Ricky? Who wants to refer to Crown Jewel as just one bit of evidence of what? I don't know why he's bringing Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant's exit. Although I do like Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant's exit. Yeah, I never saw Queer as Folk. In fact, why not go ahead and share the scene from the show's second season, which Stuart. Aidan Gillen demonstrates his abiding love for Vince by proving how much he's paying attention to Vince's favorite show. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, that's right. You know, again, I never seen that. I love Russell Davies' writing, right? Yeah. I honestly, I'm always touched when my wife or kids actually know anything about Doctor Who. Like, anything that like is important to me, because I don't expect anybody to know this stuff. Although that's why I got a freaking YouTube channel, you know, because I want somebody to talk to about this. Man, I was on a stream on, was it Monday night, talking about No Time to Die, which I'm doing a review of, shooting the review of after I do this video. And I was aching to be able to talk about it with someone. I'm doing, I think, a spoiler-free review. Or maybe I'll do spoilers at the end, because there's a little bit of spoilers to talk about in that. They was a long-time fan, but taking the task of creating a 21st century Doctor Who, he was also very conscious how a large portion of the audience would need an introduction or reintroduction of the character at the time. Madman and Police Box. Well, that was more Stephen Moffat's Madman and Police Box. Yeah, but okay, the point was, you know, the reason he was so successful because he understood Doctor Who to a level which is beyond me. And I think I understand it very deeply. Okay, I mean, I love hearing Russell Davies and Stephen Moffat talk about Doctor Who. Their analysis of it is brilliant. I mean, absolutely brilliant. And Mark Gatiss for that matter. Oh, I hope he's coming back and doing. I hope they're bringing back all the people I love doing. Love them doing this scripts. But he knew how the British public felt about. Okay, whatever this show is, Collider Ladies Night, is just irritating me. He knew about the British public, right? He knew how the British public saw Doctor Who, how embarrassing it was. That's why he like really leaned into making it the special effects, everything top notch. Right, he wanted that second episode, End of the World, to have this breathtaking special effects, and it does. Yeah, honestly, I watched it recently, and the footage of the chunks of Earth, the asteroids floating around, so just beautiful. I mean, I love the style of it; it's absolutely beautiful. But so he understands the public, and he understands people, and he understands Doctor Who. So it's a very good marriage. Now, I understand, yes, he is woke, right? He is 100% on board with the woke agenda. Even though, look, the woke agenda isn't really helping anybody much, is it? I mean, his mate, John Barrowman, is even more cancelled today, not going back to Dancing with Stars, apparently. I mean, really, it's so beyond me how he's been dumped. And honestly, Big Finish dumping him, really, I think is vile. I've dumped Big Finish, basically. And I'm really quite happy to do that. I mean, this month I got a few releases, but like everything I look at, I go, what for? Like, what for? You know, it's like I'm looking at the Peter Davison releases coming up, which they've announced a bit of. And I'm like, maybe, I don't know. Nothing's really grabbing me. I'm really glad I didn't get the their big Sixth Doctor release of last month, the 11. And I love the 11. Great villain, the 11. Fantastic villain. If you don't know, the 11 is a Time Lord which has all 11 personalities awake simultaneously. And is insane, right? They're all evil, apart from one. They're all evil. And he's a great villain played by Mark Bonner. Really knocks out the park. I just knew that Colin Baker wasn't going to be in it for the second out of 3 episodes. And boy, was I right. Listen, you can only bait and switch me so much before I work out your patterns. And it was going to be about the 11 taking over a planet. Basically exactly the same as the Eric Roberts master set. Like, exactly the same. And I'm like, I like Eric Roberts. I don't really need to hear this at all. So, and most stuff I'm just not getting anymore. Like, I was on the fence about getting the Peladon box set. I'm like, no. And you know why? Because they cancelled John Barrowman. That's really a big thing for me. And the reason they cancelled him is because they say they don't want to lose, they don't want to face the ire of their audience base by releasing it. What nonsense. Why not try releasing it and seeing if it's commercially successful? I think it will be, right? I think it would be. And I think the only reason you're not releasing it is because you don't want to see it to be commercially successful. And if it is commercially successful, you're going to get a bunch of weirdos on Twitter who aren't buying your product anyway to condemn you. As opposed to people like me, I bought everything. I bought everything they put out, right? Absolutely everything. And they've lost me as a customer for the most part. I don't think the woke agenda is really helping out anybody. But I think people are starting to see it. I think J.K. Rowling was a big thing that scared people. But it's like, it's out of control now, right? There's not much they can do about it. So there was a long time ago, taking the cast of the 21st century Doctor Who. He was very conscious about how a large portion of the audience would need an introduction and reintroduction at the time of Madman and Box. They need to get rid of those preconceptions. That's the most important thing. Get rid of the preconception of wobbly sets, even though they never really were wobbly sets in Doctor Who. As far as I can think, I can't think of any. But Sutek's the hand on the Sutek's pillow is that's the only thing I can really think of. There must be something. A few Billy fluffs. But other than that, I don't know. But it was the public perception that he had to break, and he did that with that second episode. Was it the second or third episode? End of the World. It was The Unquiet Dead. I remember going The Unquiet Dead. Oh, I feel like I'm back in Doctor Who. I feel like I'm in familiar territory now. But anyway, but they used that one to essentially get rid of that public perception. Now we've got a public perception now that Doctor Who is boring. Doctor Who is a Greta Thunberg, the TV show, that it wags its finger at you very disapprovingly, and does that a lot, right? That's the thing he's really got to dispel, and he's got to dispel that it's dour. Right, I think was it Hills versus Babysit as from Hill. He came up with that word down, and he's 100% correct. 100% correct. The importance of this mounts up when that Doctor Who, at its core, is a show for families. I'm 50 now, right? So I got a little bit of perspective on life. And I'm not even making this up, right? This is not hyperbole, which I am subject to on occasion. Some of the happiest times of my life is watching the revival of Doctor Who with my kids. It was just, it was wonderful. I remember my kids were little. My daughter loved Rose, and she cried so much. Oh my God, into season 2. Oh, she's such a sweet little. And she was a blonde like Rose, and a haircut like Rose. But I remember watching. I watched it with all my kids. God, I wish I could get bloody married and have kids so I can watch Doctor Who with my grandkids now. Okay, that's where I am. It's wonderful. Okay, it's a family show. It is just wonderful. Meaning that much of the target audience in 2009 wasn't necessarily alive for Doctor Who's last prior screen adventure in 1996. Absolutely. But it's incredible. Looking at this interview from 2018 or 2017, it says, yeah, people are always fascinated about Doctor Who. They want to learn more. It's like picking up books on Quidditch. You want to know more about this world. All that's gone, right? All that has gone. It's really sad. If you're wondering, that queer as folk joke is no longer technically accurate. Paul McGann, as the Eighth Doctor, has been accepted as canon. Yeah, okay, fine, many times over. Night of the Doctor. Like, and again, maybe we're going to see like micro little stories like that. I mean, like things. I would love that because I just love the way he understands expansive media. David's approach to that problem was a classic solution. Build the introduction of the Doctor into the narrative by framing the first episode from the point of view of the new companion, Rose. What you mean? Exactly like Unearthly Child, right? Exactly like Unearthly. And that's the function of a companion. The companion is there for you to be able to relate to. That's why I think having a trans companion is a very bad idea. Like a trans Doctor for that matter, which the character is because. And here's the thing, here's the crushing truth that the people who find this very important don't like. It's very rare to find genuinely trans people. And I'm happy if you're genuinely trans, okay? Whatever you want to be, mate. Honestly, your life is your life. Live it the way you want to live without impacting on other people, like let them live their lives the way genuinely my philosophy, right? I don't understand why anybody would think differently. However, it's like having a one-legged banjo player, as my great example, one-legged banjo player, which I think are more prevalent than trans people as a companion. It just seems like, well, we can all relate to me with my one leg and banjo playing. Now, okay, here's the truth. People relate to character traits that they identify with, and it doesn't matter what the color or shape of that person, or the identity of that person with those character traits. That's why I think Doctor Who had such an incredible following, especially amongst the LGBT community, and probably T as well, right? LGBT is because the character trait people always relate to in the Doctor is him being an outsider, him being different, and being comfortable with it, right? And I think if anybody is an outsider, they will appeal to the Doctor Who will probably appeal to them, as if you like spaceships and aliens. Okay, so we've Billy Piper's way in, which is the freaking role of a companion. Who's ordinary life as a shop girl gets literally exploded by a strange man in a leather jacket. Run! Oh, I love that bit. Okay, what's the name? Talk about Frank Skinner. Mentioned that we interviewed Rusty Davis. Said man, whose name is the Doctor, by the way, and never Doctor Who. You ever seen the Peter Cushing movies? Who was it? Bernard Cribbins called him Doctor, or was it Bernard Cribbins, or was it Roy Castle? As everyone who has ever had the misfortune of working me has learned by now. Okay, whatever. And also there's the War Machines. Doctor Who is required. Go on to offer her chance to explore all of space and time, but doesn't offer up a lot of details about himself or his past. So of course, over the series, details of events are that led to the destruction of Dr. Homeworld's grow while, like Rose does, we fall in love with the Doctor and the adventures he offers us. That could be something that we're looking for, right? That'd be fantastic. There are perhaps too few farting. There are perhaps a few too many farting aliens in the first season for me to declare it one of the best seasons of television ever. But again, who was the farting aliens for, right? It's for the school kids. It's for kids. Same with the wheelie bin. Mickey being eaten by a wheelie bin. That's, again, you heard this from the incredible commentary which he put out, when it was on. It's because kids will go to school. They'll see the wheelie bins outside and they'll imagine themselves in the world of Doctor Who, right? Putting Doctor Who in there. And it worked, right? It worked incredibly. So people ask me why I'm optimistic. This is one of the reasons why. But grounding the series in Rose's point of view early on, and letting the Doctor be a figure of fascination to the audience. That first thing the Doctor is now a masterclass how to continue the series from a modern day perspective without losing track on on what made the original worth revisiting. Okay, excellent. Yes. Collider, you're doing well. Getting a gold star, okay? Very good. Very good. Very good, Collider. Here's what's interesting about this, though. After Overseeing 4 seasons and a year gap of specials, David Lester's series when Stephen Moffat took over as showrunner in 2010. His approach proved different in a number of respects, but he too ensured the companion story was always as important as the Doctor's, leading to a much more balanced feel between the characters, while the 12th Doctor period felt a little more Doctor-focused. Peter Capaldi's companion didn't feel like they lacked too much screen time. They probably had too much. And honestly, Jenna Coleman stayed 2 years too long, in my opinion. Unfortunately, as I've written previously... was there a link to that? 1 second. Let's have a look. Let's see if this open a new tab. Let's have a look, see where it takes us. I think I did. Yeah, I think I did a video on this. Right? She's like, fine, whatever. You did write it previously. Okay, good girl. And Mother Company passed the show on to Chris Chibnall, and you Doctor Jodie Whittaker. Something unfortunate happened. It went woke. Go woke. Go broke. I mean, like, it's basically a scientific law at this point. Something unfortunate. Who knows how intentional this was, but Doctor Who embraced its first ever. But as Doctor Who embraced its first ever female Doctor, it also became an ensemble piece thanks to the introduction of 3 full-time companions. The reason it wasn't an ensemble piece, it's because Jodie Whittaker's performance was lackluster, as was Mandip Gill's, as was Tosin Cole, but Bradley Walsh stood out. Bradley Walsh could act, right? Bradley Walsh was charismatic. Which I'm assuming John Bishop is that his name? Yeah, is going to be in the next series, which apparently is dropping any time now. I think they're going to do a surprise announcement. They had that thing on that like 2-second ad on BBC. Whatever. But yeah, no, the reason it was weighted much more towards the companions is because of Bradley Walsh's performance. On script, it wasn't. It was just... I'm sure Graham was as boring on script as Yasmin or Yaz and Ryan were, and the Doctor. I'm sure it's just he had talent, right? Which did kind of show. Thanks to the introduction of 3 full-time companions, in comparison to 1 or perhaps 2 regulars, and interesting and inclusive characters of Graham. Well, Graham wasn't inclusive. He was interesting, though, Ryan. Ryan wasn't interesting, he was inclusive. And Yasmin, neither interesting nor that inclusive, I guess. Where they sucked up all the oxygen that might be used to let Whittaker establish her take on the character. Listen, get real with this. Look at season 12, Spyfall. They threw everything at season 12. They put tons of money, they gave them the best shot. And Jodie Whittaker didn't connect with the viewing public because she's awful in the role. It's like, I understand, this is just not rocket science. It's so freaking simple. She is awful in the role. Therefore, she failed in the role. It wasn't anybody's fault other than hers, right? It was her. She should have done her job better. Bottom line, she should have researched it. She should have done a lot more. But I think she's doing the best she can, and I just think she's a very low quality actress. Now my question is, what am I going to do though when we do finally get good Doctor Who and a 14th Doctor? I have to see what Russell T Davies does. But firstly, on top of my computer right here, I got all the Doctors on my Doctor Who figures, like above my desk, and I don't have a Jodie Whittaker one. If she really becomes canon, which I think she might not, we gotta wait and see what happens. If she becomes because I think the Time Children decanonized her, I think I have to get a figure and just put her in the back and have her face the wall or something while I get an action figure of the new one. Who I'm hoping, Patterson Joseph. Ah man, I got rumors from 3 different directions yesterday. Saying Tom Patton Joseph was high up. Yesterday and the day before was high on the short list, and I hope that's the case. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. They sucked all the oxygen. They used to let Whittaker establish her take on the character, making the Doctor a supporting character in her own goddamn show. Again, no. Do you remember in season one, you had Christopher Eccleston, you had Mickey, you had Jackie, and you had Rose, okay? And they all had a lot of screen time, but the difference is they all had characters, which they don't have. Yaz and Ryan and the Doctor doesn't have a character. Bradley Walsh has a character because he's Bradley Bloody Walsh. But that's about it, really. The upcoming seasons of the Athena series, along with some additional special 22, will be Whittaker and Chibnall's last. Yes! Yes! The time has come to say sayonara. Along with some additional Whittaker last, while I personally am sad that Whittaker will be leaving the show. Goodbye. News of Chibnall's departure remains a relief because his treatment of the all-time great character, and anecdotally, I know I'm far from the only fan whose interest has waned over the years for similar reasons. Yes, because listen, I understand you really want to like Jodie Whittaker because she had a vagina. Again, the magic vagina can't be overstated. They love the magic vagina, but she did a bad job, and she did a bad job with Chris Chibnall. Yes, it would have been interesting if the next showrunner was somebody who could bring a brand new perspective to the franchise. But Davis is coming back is exciting because after so many years, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the steak they made at the bottom of this page. I'm going, yum. That looks freaking awesome. Man, I could really go for a bit of that. All right, that's exactly how I like my meat cooked, like rare and bloody. But Davis coming back is exciting. Honestly, one of the reasons he's coming back, again, because he's damaged his reputation, but one from his perspective, from the BBC's perspective, one of the reasons he's coming back, I bet they couldn't get any bloody actor to play the role, right? It's such a tainted role now. We got, was it Maxine's Addleton or whatever her name is, Doctor Who? Nobody wants to do it, right? I don't think people are seeing people lining up so easily, and they know they need somebody to save this franchise. They need but Rusty Davis Doctor Who, the door's open to a lot more acting talent now, a lot higher acting talent. Patterson Joseph, Russ, Patterson Joseph, put him on top of your list, mate. Apparently he is. Okay. But it's going to be exciting because after so many years of companion forward approach that he originally established, Doctor Who could use a bit of course correction in the opposite direction. Reminder of just how vibrant and scary and mad and fun the character of the Doctor Who likes to be. Exactly. Listen, it's incredible when you look at somebody from the outside, when you're not inside you, and you can have a bit more space. Yes. For you, you're somebody who genuinely feels that women are treated badly within Western society. You genuinely believe that to be the case. That's fine. That's fine that you believe that to be the case. However, and I think you saw the casting of a woman playing Doctor Who as a stunning and brave breaking of the glass ceiling and an end of the evil male patriarchy, and you believe all that stuff. Whoever wrote it believes it all completely, right? As totally drunk from the Kool-Aid, you think that's what's going on. Fine. But you also have to address reality of it being garbage, right? Of it being unwatchable garbage. So there's that, right? There's that. So I can see you like juggling the two. It needs a 180, and I don't think they're going to do a female Doctor, but I hope they don't. Just because I think it's worked out so badly. Plus, as Kelly Lawler or at USA Today pointed out on Twitter, the Davis of 2005 is not the Davis of the day. Davis of the day is better. Yeah, absolutely. Got a lot more experience, knows a lot more what he's doing. Since leaving Doctor Who in the hands of Moffat, Davis' television has grown even more wild and wonderful in massive scope. The Emma Thompson starring Years and Years harness the talents for sci-fi tales for one of the decade's most grounding and haunting near-future stories. Which, okay, again, that was Rusty Davis' existential angst at Brexit and Trump. Okay, and I think now, with that, we're just 10 months into not having Trump, right? I think we can say categorically, absolutely categorically, everything they were scared about didn't happen, and everything they were scared about is happening now, right? They were completely wrong, right? Just completely wrong. Wherever you are on the political spectrum, right? Honestly, I got into Trump. When I first saw Trump was running, I thought, this is going to be freaking hilarious. This is just going to be fun. That's where I was for a while. Then I saw people lying a lot about stuff, like, stupidly. And when somebody lies, I figure there's a reason they're lying. So, if you can't win an argument by telling the truth, you don't have an argument. Again, all these are very rare outlooks in the world, as I found out. But it's not in the near future. Well, this brings 80s drama. 80s drama. It's a Sin was perhaps his most personal and emotional tale to date. The truly gut-wrenching, beautiful television series. I mean, I was going to say, he forgot about Very British Scandal, Very English Scandal, which I loved. I mean, that's one of my all-time favourite Russell Davies work. And he was Emmy nominated for scripting the also great period drama, Very English Scandal. The best things you can hope for any artist is their best work is still ahead. And in David's case, his writing has only continued to evolve and grow with experience. Yeah. That is true. David's comeback isn't just exciting because of his credentials, but because it's just weird, though, isn't it? Because up until a couple of months ago, when this was announced, me and what's her name? Who's the name of this person? Me and Liz Shannon Miller would have been at each other's throats, right? We would have been. She would have been calling me a bigot, an insult, a sexist, and I would have called her a flake, or whatever. Finally, Rossley Davis has united us together. So good for him. Davis got me just excited because of his ending, but because the last time we took on the channel and revitalizing the series for a new generation, the results were an overwhelming success. In 2023, the world may need a little help with falling in love with the new Doctor. Honestly, I think by 2023, we are just going to want to relax. We're just going to want to end all this wokeness, all this agenda, and just have fun. Steve Martin became huge because in the late 60s, when he saw everything was very political, he said, next thing is just going to be silliness. I can see silliness being big, and that's why in the early 70s his albums did very well. And I think that's basically where we are. We're going to get fun, a joy of life again. Oh, it will be so great. I am indeed looking forward to that. When it comes to a very specific cast, there is no one better than him. Yeah, listen, I would love to know who approached who. Did Rusty Davis approach the BBC, or BBC approach Rusty Davis? But whoever made this deal, right? Whoever made this in Judaism, in Orthodox Judaism, there's a thing called a shadchan. A matchmaker, matchmaker, make me at that one, right? You've seen Fiddle on the Roof, matchmaker, make me. I got married by a matchmaker, by the way. It worked out good for me. The matchmaker does you have to go out on dates with each other, right? Whoever made this shidduch, whoever made this match, Rusty Davis going back to Doctor Who, mwah! You have done a good job, sir. Thank you very much. I'm very, very appreciative. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, you are Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.